Welcome to this Pattern Keeper tutorial. This video is around how to import a chart for an unsupported designer where the grid isn't being recognised. In previous versions, this would come up with a big X to say that it couldn't import the chart. Improvements have been made to allow the user to manually assign a grid to allow you to at least mark off your stitches even if you can't search. So we'll go into that a little more detail. Let's start by navigating to our chart. So again, I've stored it in Dropbox. So I'm going to go into Dropbox, and at the bottom here, I have a chart that I downloaded from, I think it was Madame Lafay. Apologies if that's wrong. So it's attempted to import the chart. It's only a 1-page by 1-page chart. And as you can see, we've received this message that says it cannot find the grid. And as it mentions, this may be because it's using images to help encode the pattern. So in this case, if we are able to successfully assign a grid to it, we'll be able to see the chart, we'll be able to mark off the progress, but we won't be able to search for symbols. So let's go through how we do this. So I'm going to start by zooming in a little bit on this chart so we can see it. So this chart, as we can see, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, 60 by 60. And it says at the bottom as well, 60 by 60. On the left-hand side, we can see the plus button. So this is allowing us to start placing a grid onto this chart. So it starts off as a 10 by 10 grid, but we're going to resize that in a moment. So what we need to do is to assign the corners of the chart. Let me just zoom out a little bit, hang on. As accurately as possible to the corners. Hopefully I've got that correct there. And we're going to say how big this grid is, because it's not 10 by 10, it's actually 60 by 60. So it's very handy to count, as you see, before you assign the grid, because the blue overlap grid can make it difficult to count. Oops, I accidentally deleted that. Let's do that again. And it is 60 by 60, and we click OK. Okay, so what we can see now, the grid has calculated to be 60 by 60. I might need to just zoom in a little and make sure that I've got the corners in precisely. If you can hear a mouse, it's because I'm using an Android emulator to help record the videos here. So once I'm comfortable that the grid is in as good a position as I can make it, I click OK. That will then process that grid and will take us into the chart itself. Okay. So we get a message that says we were able to import the chart but not index any symbols. So we can't actually search for any symbols. So we'll open the chart. So what we can see here is a slightly different view to what we normally see when we verify a chart and go into it. So we can see our chart, we can see the grid, we can see all the different colours and symbols that we saw in the PDF. What we don't have is a search function, but what we can do is mark off our stitches that we complete, which we can see with the grey